What's up, CHFFL? Welcome back to our pre-draft outlook series for the 11th season of our Chartreuse Houston Fantasy Football League. We're going to do two teams again today. I got Brad Bannis and Max Granulis on the list, and going to jump right in. They're actually two similar teams. I'm really happy that I picked to do these two in the same video. Let's get right in. Sorry if there's any extra noise. I'm wearing so many championship rings, and they cling together like crazy. I can't get it out of the background noise, but we're going to press on anyway. So Brad was a rookie last year in the CHFFL. He went 5-9 and did pretty well for himself setting up for the next season, even though his rookie campaign didn't go quite as planned. He's got two potential keepers on my list. Zach Ertz, he can keep in the 6th round. One of those top tier tight ends. I think he's number 3 after Gronk, and maybe he's number 2. Maybe he's 2 after Gronk. He has an average draft position, ESPN, point per reception of 31. Fantasy Pros has him ranked 35, and Brad can currently keep him with the 63rd pick. Now, I have a little star there. Brad drafts 10th overall, which means he's close to the turn, and that is one of the earliest picks in the 6th round. So if he could try and trade down in the 6th, he could get even better value for Ertz, and I might talk about that a little later. I also have Tariq Cohen on here. He can keep in the 8th, the rookie running back from Chicago. Has an average draft position of 93. Fantasy Pros has him ranked 86, and Brad can keep him in the 8th at 87, and same deal as the Ertz pick. He can trade down to get better value out of that. When I was doing Grant's video, I talked about how I'm not a big fan of keeping guys who are going at about the same spot as you'd be keeping them, but with Cohen, since he was a rookie last year, if he does well this year, he could be a good keeper again. So younger guys tend to have a little more value in our league now. So I like Brad keeping both of these guys. Looking at his draft board, Brad picked up an extra 5th round pick and an extra 7th without giving up anything too much. He swapped a 9 for a 10. So a little better than your standard draft board. And since he has one of the top tier tight ends, probably really wants to focus on that first turn in the 1st and 2nd round on getting wide receiver and running back depth. Because he's going to have some flexibility, he's going to have a good tight end, great value, I gave Brad a B+. I think he's looking really good going into this season. Next up, we have Max. Went 7-7 last year. That would included losing 4 of his final 5 regular season games and just missing the playoffs due to that bad skid. Luckily for Max, even though he was competitive last year, he still set himself up pretty well for this season. I have 5 potential keepers for Max, kind of in order of their value. I have Jordan Howard. He can keep in the 5th. That he has an average draft position 30, ranked 36, and Max can keep him with the 60th pick. Now, Adam Thielen in the 4th round would be great wide receiver value for Max. He's going even higher than Howard at 25 and ranked at the same. I have a star on Max's 37th pick because Max is right at the turn, drafting 12th overall. So I think definitely one of the most important offseason moves will be Max trying to trade down in the 4th round because he could get Thielen as late as a 46 to 48 range. That would be much better. Max has Marvin Jones. He can keep in the 10th round, which is great value for be a wide receiver too on most teams. He's going 60 and he's ranked in the 50s. Max can keep him at 109. Same caveat there with trading down. So how that would work, I've been talking about it a little bit, is Max should try to trade his 4th round pick, number 37, given the example for Thielen, for somebody who has a later 4th round pick, their 4th round, say number 45, and then in exchange, Max could move up in one of the later rounds, say 7 through 9, somewhere in there, get a little extra value out of his draft. I have 2 more for Max, but I think those first 3 are the ones he's going to take. He could have Evan Ingram, a pretty good mid-range tight end, in the 8th round, or he could have Cooper Kupp in the 8th as well. Either of those guys would be fine, but Jones, Thielen, and Howard are great value, and I expect Max to take those 3. Max didn't trade any draft picks, so nothing to see on his draft board. It's just interesting to note that he has 12 and 13 overall. So since he already has a good bit of running back and wide receiver depth, he's not going to be a slave to taking any particular position. He'll be able to take whatever is best value for him as it falls to him. I think Max, even though he doesn't have any help on the draft board, has a great outlook, and I've given him an A-. And that's all we have for this time. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everybody is getting their merch or other type of bling from Swan. It has all come in the mail. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more. We're halfway done, so see ya.